Hello YouTube, Bookem Dano here with my trusty co-host Oliver Quinn. We introduced him the other day. Hey, I wanted to make a short video comparing the CBCS slab with a CGC slab, and not really the slab itself but more the label. And then I also have the old style CBCS label and the new one, and we'll kind of compare and contrast those real quick. But I wanted to do that. All right, Ollie, ready? He's going to sit right here and try to behave. So what I've got here is some Descender #1 variants or slabs. These are, I've got a CGC, I've got a CBCS, and then we've got some other ones to look at here. But this is the CGC. Try to do this, minimize the glare as much as possible. So this is a CGC of the first print, original cover. You can see we've got Descender #1, Image Comics, which is the publisher, 315, which is came out in March of 2015. We've got Jeff Lemire story and Dustin Nguyen cover and art. So that's the information we have. There you can see there's nothing over here on this side where they usually list like first appearances and other notable appearances. All right, and then you can also see on the back cover, back of the label, we've just got some CGC information. It's just like the certification notice of some details about the holder and the label and the company itself, but nothing to do with that particular comic. So now let's look at the actual the same comic but in a CBCS slab. So this is the new style slab, new style label. I'm sorry, the slab itself hasn't changed. It's the new label. So if we hold this up here, again, try to minimize the glare. Okay, you can see that this one gives us pretty much the same information. We've got Descender #1. The publisher and date are over here rather than in the center, which, no big deal. We've got cover and art by Dustin Nguyen and story by Jeff Lemire. So the same basic info there. But you'll also notice there's a detail here. You probably can't see it, but I'll just read it real quick. It says, first appearance of Tim 21 and Dr. Jin Kwan. So, we get a little more detail there, which is, I think, is nice. Turning the label over, so this is the back of the label. All right. And gives us some more information. 3 pages of concept art, full page ad for Intersect, interior back cover ad for AD After Death, and back cover ad for Plutonia. The Plutonia ad is quite obvious because it's the back of the comic. But it's also got one more detail up in the corner here, and it says story title, Book 1, 10 stars. And there's also a QR code that if you scan this, it'll give you the grader's notes on this particular comic, for this specific slab, which got a 9.8. So a little bit more information on the CBCS label, and I really like that because it kind of adds a selling point, if you will, if you want to, if you're looking to sell the slabs at some point, having that information on it, I think is pretty helpful. Let me show you one other thing that I think is really cool. Oliver's getting a little squirmy here, Mr. Queen. Okay, so I showed this the other day. This is my Star Wars #2 that I just got back. So stoked about this. This is cool. I did not very, very pleased with the 9.6 label. So, we get all the basic information, the cover, the art, story, date it came out, publisher, and all that. So then we've got over, on the front of the label, some additional information. Adaptation of Star Wars movie continues. First appearance of Han Solo, Chewbacca, Jabba the Hutt, and the Millennium Falcon. Which is, those are all great selling points. Han, Chewie. You don't get... that's a pretty cool first appearance. Then on the back, we've got some more details. So, story title, Six Against the Galaxy. So that would be the title of this particular part of the story. But then we've got some more details here, and these are just great. First appearance and death of Greedo. Han shoots first as the scene originally appeared in the film. That seems to me is a pretty nice detail. I like that. It's a big selling point, and I love that extra detail that CBCS puts on the label. Obviously, a knowledgeable collector is going to know that stuff, but just having it reinforced right on the label is, I think, very cool. And it just makes it easier to sell if that's what you want to do with the slab, with your graded comic. All right, so let's get back to these Descender covers. And now I've got, this is the, I showed these the other day. This is the Jeff Lemire variant cover, sometimes called cover B. Sorry, do this. So this is the original CBCS slab. Okay. Here's the same comic, but in the new label. Sorry, I keep saying slab. I mean label. They haven't changed the product itself, other than the label. So it's got all the same information. All right, in the same places. Publisher, date, who did the art, who wrote the story, the grade, the page quality. All of that is the same. And the information is the same. So this is the Jeff Lemire variant, and first appearance of Tim 21 and Dr. Jim Kwan. Okay, so that information is the same exactly, and so is the back information, because it's all the other than that this is a different person did the cover. It's the same information as on the first print. All right. But that's the new CBCS label. This is the old one. The information is identical. It's word for word both on the front, on the back. Nothing has changed position at all. It's all the same info in the same place. But what's different, as you can see, is the newer label has a darker, almost sharper, I guess, font and blue. The blue is much darker. It's a very light color here, and also try to get this. The font on the older label is a little bit bigger. Sorry, that was really tough to see. But it's bigger. It looks clearer to me. Same information. I don't mind the new labels. They're solid. They're sharp. I think what they were trying to do is get a little bit more of a like, I guess it's not really a watermark, but a proof mark or whatever. Just make it look more official. But everything else is the same. But this font, is a little clearer, and I think it's a tad bigger. Which, I didn't have any problem with the old label. and that, you know, that companies are always changing things up. So new label's very cool. Old label's fine as far as I'm concerned. Didn't really see the need to change it, but anyway, that's what we've got. Thanks for tuning in. Bookham Dano and Ollie signing off. Have a great day.